This is Outdated, and welcome back to the Bonfire Chronicles, my walkthrough of Dark Souls. And so we left off after our first episode, and we had made it through the Undead Asylum and had been brought to Lordran, and we were at this most important location probably in the game, Firelink Shrine. And so we're going to start here, and really right here what we're going to do is take care of a few things. I don't know if we're going to do as much like hardcore exploring, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So we've got a few characters that are already present here, and this is going to be sort of a base of operations. So let's start with this guy. Sorry, my dog decided to be a dummy. Okay, let's talk to this guy.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on. But I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Okay, so this guy, honestly, he doesn't accomplish much while he's here. Although later on something will happen, but right now he's just there to basically say you don't have a chance and you suck and all this stuff. He's not super, important right now, but he's one NPC that's here. Now another NPC that's here is, if you'll notice right here, there's a staircase. You're safe here generally. We're gonna go down here and look in there. There's a lady locked up in this cage. There's no response, she cannot speak. But I can talk to her, but she can't, because she cannot speak. Or I can have her reinforce my Estus flask, which I'll explain here in a second, or I'll leave, which I just did. So, I need something called a Firekeeper soul. She is a Firekeeper. And I need a Firekeeper soul, and if she gets one of those, she can improve my Estus flask. So this thing right here, the thing that heals me, right now it has 10 charges because of the bonfire I'm at is a already kindled bonfire. Normally it only gives you 5 charges. We'll get into that later. But she can make it a +1 Estus flask, and then +2 and +3, which means it actually heals you for more. Okay, so if I keep going down here, now you'll notice a rather large lack of wall here. Nothing is more deadly in Dark Souls than gravity, so you need to just please don't fall off. It's not going to like guide you. But if I go down here, and there, this circle is an elevator. When I go to it, I'll go to a whole other location. We'll come back to it in a minute, but I wanted you to see this because this leads to one of the directions you could potentially go at this early stage of the game, which actually leads to another split and decision. But for now, we're not going to mess with that. I just want you to see what the options are. That is not the direction of the critical path, of the direction you would want to go to progress the game, but you can. I mean, you literally have all the choices right now. You can do whatever you want. Alright. For now, I'm going to spend my time exploring this area. So you see these here, those phantoms with people? These are other players. I can't interact with them. We just see each other. But it is possible to go in and help each other fight bosses, or go in and attack each other. Okay, now this is an item on a corpse. I'm going to get it. It's 3 humanity. Taking a peek over here, there's nothing here at the moment. But you'll see this way, going up these stairs towards that shiny, you can see it right up. Well, we'll get past the grass, sorry. There we go. You can see that shiny item right up there. That's the critical path. If you want to continue with the game, that's the direction you actually want to go. We're not going to do that right now. I'm actually going to utilize this time to continue exploring. And why? Because there are treasures and stuff hidden here that we might be able to use. Now, I told you before that if you die, you lose everything you've picked up. Let's go ahead and pick up. There's a little treasure here. 6 fire bombs. You lose all the souls that you've gathered. But if you pick up an item, and that item is a soul item, which I picked one up earlier in the tutorial. It was a Soul of a Lost Undead. That one, when you use it, you get the souls. So when you die, because it's an item, you don't actually lose it. Alright, so there's the bonfire right over there. We're going to go through here. Firelink Shrine used to be this chapel type place, as you can see. Now right now we're trying to go through here. This area will evolve. This chest, interestingly, I've never had to utilize it. It's just an open chest, and it's there for if some sort of catastrophic event happens. If I'm not mistaken, it's built in so that if like you lose some game critical item because of some sort of catastrophic mistake, it ends up in this chest. Now I don't think it does that. Like they don't let you sell or anything, but I mean like there's some sort of an error. Now we come through here. I think there might be a treasure right over here somewhere. Right here? Yeah, there it is. Let's grab that. Soul of a Lost Undead. I walk right through there. Okay. If you look down, see all that? Those buttresses, what looks like water down below? That's Blighttown. You can actually see it from here. Then over here, this massive tree, that's the Great Hollow. Another place you can actually eventually go. There's so much of this here that you can actually go to. So we can, if you look over here, there's a graveyard. Now, this is a mistake a lot of early players have made. And when the game first came out, this was a much bigger mistake than it is now. This graveyard is not where you want to go first. But for somebody like me who grew up playing Dungeons & Dragons, that seemed like the most logical thing. You go to a graveyard, you fight zombies and skeletons because they're not that powerful. Not true here. For one thing, when the game, most of them are wielding scimitars, which have an effect called bleed. And if you get damaged with them enough, and your bleed meter fills up, you'll take a massive chunk of damage. And then, you'll end up getting wounded, and you'll take a massive chunk of damage at once, which could kill you. Also, and this was the kicker, especially at this stage of the game, if you went down and fought them and killed them, they'd get right back up. They didn't actually die. Now they will. Now you can actually kill them, then they'll just respawn when you rest the bonfire. And that part about them not dying is later. But we're going to do something here in a second, because there's a treasure there. There's actually one down there. There's one over there. And there's some over the hill there. And there's one really important one I want to get. So we're going to do that in a bit. So right now what I'm doing is trying to gather stuff that I know is here that I'll be able to use. Let's just make sure there's not one here and there. Okay. So we're going to go around this way. I think there's one on the end of that side. Yep, there it is. So let's go over there and get that. And again, I'm safe here as long as I don't fall off to my death. Somebody died here, but they probably lured the skeletons up here. Another Soul of a Lost Undead. I can drop down here if I wanted. There is another NPC we haven't dealt with yet. We'll deal with him in a minute. Every once in a while, you're going to hear a bell go off. You hear dong, dong. Again, we're going to save this over here for later. That's actually other players ringing the Bell of Awakening. Though probably it'll be the first one we ring. You can actually ring them in either order. It's totally up to you. but most players go through the critical path, which I already described was up that way, towards that aqueduct with the item on it. But we've got somebody over here we can talk to and get an easy achievement. Now I already have his achievement, so you won't see it pop up. Wait, this is, yeah, that's there. I already got something. So let's go ahead and talk to this guy.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Firelink. Have you business with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Okay, so he's what we like to call rude, but I'm going to talk to him again.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
And he gave me a copper coin. So it's kind of like whenever...
Oh my, you again.
I talked to him.
Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
Yes.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Okay, so there are these things called covenants, and each one has a different job or task attached to it, a possible benefit. I'm going to join it because when you join it, discovering it gets you the achievement, I think. But I'm going to go ahead and join it, and I'll just change when I find the ones I want. So, yes. Okay, I have gotten it. Covenant established.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Okay, so here I've got some options. I'm going to go ahead and learn a gesture. The shrug. Thank you. Gesture learn. So I can purchase items. So he has... Right now I don't have the money or souls to buy any of these. But these are the miracles he has. Great Heal Excerpt. Homeward Force. Seek Guidance. Heal. Also over here he has Talisman and a Thorlum Talisman. You need a Talisman to cast miracles. I don't have the souls to buy any of this crap. So I'm backing out. I've already entered the Covenant. I'm going to talk to him just as a regular conversation, so he says.
My companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm.
So he's referring to companions that aren't here yet. But when they are here, they'll be right over there, and you can talk to her. You just have to wait. I think you have to beat the first boss or something like that. Because they do have there's a subplot attached to this guy and the people that come. So that's it for him.
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
So casting miracles, which are the spells that clerics use because he's a cleric, require the faith stat. And he is a bit of a jerk, and we'll talk more about that later. This actually leads to a whole other area, but it is not active right now. You have to activate it from the other side, but we can use it for something. First, we're going to run up here and grab this. Soul of a Lost Undead. Okay. Now, a lot of people miss this, and I mean, if you're completely new to Dark Souls, which, considering how old the game is, and I'm making this video now, that's the only way this would really be useful, is if you're completely new to Dark Souls. This spot right here, there is actually a floor just below. I'm going to drop down. And go out here. Now, if you have a long drop and you're worried about taking damage, just roll when you drop. It'll give you a little more distance. Like, whee! And to do that, I just tapped B. Now, what did I find here? Oh, can't fit. I found some chests. These are safe. I'm going to open it. 4 cracked red eye orbs. Those are the things that let you invade another player's game. I will probably not ever do that, but it is something you can do. Alright, what's in this one? A Morning Star, which is probably in some ways a better weapon than my longsword, and a Talisman to cast spells, miracles if I wanted to. So some nice starting gear. We'll check here. What do we have here? 6 Homeward Bones. So a Homeward Bone is an item that I can use that will teleport me back to where the last bonfire I rested at. and I do not lose any of the souls I've gathered. And as I go through here to leave, I find another chest. Lloyd's Talisman. We'll save that for later. So here, we're back at the graveyard. And so there's some things in this graveyard I want to get. Now if you'll notice, if I die, I lose all my souls. I have 117 souls, which really isn't much. So I'm going to go ahead and go down here and try to get some of the stuff. So let's see how this goes. Because I want you, there's some items here that are pretty cool. Okay, we're going to lock onto this guy. Man, I am underpowered. Never mind. Oh, if I heavy him, whoa god, you see that meter at the bottom? That's my bleed meter. So I started building up. What was a nice hit? Oh crap. Oh crap. Did he get me? Nope. Still alive. Get up, get up, get up. Gonna take him. Ah, God. I didn't expect him to do that. Okay, we took him down. I'm gonna duck in here. Take this. Crap! The thing about doing that is it takes time. I don't think I'm quite ready for these guys. So what I'm doing is I'm doing my heavy, which breaks them apart. Then I'm giving it a second to let my stamina build back up. No, you don't attack the bird, whatever you do. Okay, now. You notice something. I'm not getting any souls from this. That's actually surprising. Oh wait, yeah I did. They're worth 50 each. So I did get souls from this. Okay. So there's actually... This little adventure has shown me one very important thing. I do not want to fight these guys. So I'm going to go here, and in my quick bar items, I'm going to put a homeward bow. Because I'm going to use it, because there's something I want to get here. Okay, somebody kindled the bonfire. Another player, and that's what caused that to happen. I'm going to run through here. Wing spear, pretty good dex weapon. Come on. Oh crap, I'm stuck. Zweihander, that's what I wanted. Oh, sorry. I just try to get out of here and not die. And I died. But I got this Zweihander, which is what I want. I'm gonna mess with this other stuff later. But I really wanted that Zweihander, and I'll show you why. Alright, so let's go here and look at what I have. So I'm going to click on that, and so these are the things I've picked up. The Morning Star. Well, while I'm here, I'm going to hit X, and it'll show what I have as the set. So right now you can see, let's see if I use the mouse here. It does 80 damage for my longsword, and 15 more because of my, I believe it's scaling on strength and dex, which is C. It scales with a, basically it's an A, B, C, D, E kind of thing, but the best is actually S, which is above A. This is C scaling for strength and dexterity, which isn't great, but it isn't bad either. But the important thing to note is that it improves the damage. But I needed a 10 strength and a 10 dex to wield a longsword, which of course I have. Now you notice there the damage for the straight sword hilt is only 20, and you don't get any. I mean, the scaling on it is E, which means you might as well not have any. It's a crappy weapon. Zweihander, on the other hand, its scaling is the same for strength, not as good for dex to D, but I need 24 strength to carry the thing. But this is a weapon I think I'm going to use for this playthrough because I enjoy using this weapon. I'll show you later, but you'll notice the damage, it's higher. The 80 went up to 130, you can tell because it's colored in blue. The plus 15 went down to negative 105 because I can't wield it right now. And there is a way, but we'll talk about that later. The Morning Star here, you'll see there's an increase of 3 in base damage, but a drop of 4 because of my stats. So I'm not going to use that because that actually comes out as a negative. The Winged Spear, an increase of 6, but a drop of 39. That's not worth it. And that's it. So I'm going to stick with the longsword for now, but this is my mid-game and beyond goal. The Zweihander. It's a huge two-handed sword. It's pretty awesome. Alright, now I know I lost my souls back there. I might be able to go down and get them and not trigger the zombies, or the skeletons. I think I'm going to give that a try. This also allows you to see what it looks like when you've lost them. And where was I when I died? Oh, I ran all the way down there. Forget it. I'm leaving them. This small amount of souls is simply not worth it. I'm just going to be honest. It's not worth it. So, once again, I have avoided the critical path. I haven't shown it to you. It's up that way. There's something else I want you to see. Another NPC. Okay, I'm going to be tricky here. I'm going to drop down here to get on the stairs a little quicker. Oh, that could have been bad. Alright. Here we go. We're going to go back down to this elevator I showed you before. And we're going down. Okay, so when we get down here, you're going to find a lot of little hollows sitting around, and they won't attack you, and I'll show you in a second. So we'll go down here. There's actually a treasure hiding back here. I'm going to go and grab it. Soul of a Nameless Soldier. That's actually a better soul than the Lost Undead one. You get a little more out of it. Drop down here. Wait, is there an item over here? Can't remember. No. See, there's just a hollow here. He's not even going to mess with you. If you want to kill him, you can. He'll get you 20 souls. But these are the new Londo ruins. So, remember, these guys all respawn. This is actually a very early game farming spot that I honestly don't generally use. Because I just go through the regular critical path and I get a lot more. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and show you that I can get these guys and get some of those souls back that I lost. I'm doing the heavy attack a lot because I know it'll one-hit kill them. And since I get to move around and dodge them and stay out of the way, it's not that bad. Because what I want to show you is right over here. Okay, this is where I came in. Okay, we've got this guy. I don't know if I'll be able to hit him like that. Let's see. Oh, I did. Okay, cool. So, I'm going to show you down here. There's an NPC locked up in here. And he actually is pretty helpful early on if you need him.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Ricky of Vinheim. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
Okay, so he's a smith, but he's locked up in there.
What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. I can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons. albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in Venice.
Okay, so he's our first blacksmith, and he can actually offer us, some basic services here. You can modify your weapon. That's if you have a weapon that you have already reinforced to its max, and you can modify it to a different style, and we'll get to that later. You can reinforce a weapon. That's whenever you turn it into a +1, +2, +3. To do that, we need something called Titanite, and we'll find that as we play. You can reinforce armor. It's exactly the same. We can repair gear. So I'm going to repair my longsword. Costs 15 souls. Done. I'm going to repair my heater shield. Okay. You can purchase items. He sells a heavy soul arrow, which is actually a magic spell, and regular soul arrow. He also sells a sorcerer's talisman. Apparently he's skilled in magic as well as smithing. We're going to just talk to him.
What is it? There's nothing to talk about. We're both cursed, undead. But what's there really to moan about?
Okay, so there's not really much to say for him, and we're going to leave.
Goodbye then. Keep your head on out there. You really helped break the monotony.
So until we make our way to the Undead Parish, he is probably going to be your blacksmith. That being said, you don't have to use him. So I'm going to keep going this way to pick up a couple of easy items. But there is a point when I'm going to stop, and I'll show you where that is. First off, let's go around here. Sorry, dude. Because this is a pretty good dex weapon that you stock. Okay, there's this guy. Let's get the easy souls. This guy. Be careful, if you fall in that water, you are dead. Take these guys out now. We are not going across that bridge right now. Although, after I do this and discover there's an item in there, that transient curse will allow me to survive for a little bit. But we are not going over there. We are not quite ready for that. We could potentially do some exploring. There is a really good item not too far that we could probably run to if I'm willing to die for it. Right now, I'm not. That's not what I want to show you right now. So, I'm going to show you one more thing down here, and we're going to go through here. This is not where we came from. This is the one next to it. And it brings us up here, and there's a gate. Normally, this gate would stay locked, and I couldn't get in. But, if you remember, when I created my character, I got to choose an item. I chose the master key. That allows me to open this door. There are some other doors that allow me to open too. And here's another item. Large soul of a nameless soul. Okay, we are in the Valley of the Drakes. This is a much later game area. If you go that way, you'll come across some stuff that will totally destroy you. Or you can go in this tunnel here. This tunnel actually leads to Blighttown, which is where one of the two Bells of Awakening are. You could go there first. Blighttown is notoriously difficult and annoying. We are not actually going to go there, but we have opened the way to go there if we want to later. I'm going to head back up top. Let's go ahead and make this go a little faster. Let's run. Run. Okay. New Londo is important, and this area will become a major deal for us. Matter of fact, that right there, you can see there's that. Most of this looks like we're in a cavern, right? Where there's this hole there, and there's a hole there right past the buildings. That hole is looking into the Valley of the Drakes, interestingly enough. So it's just a different section of the Valley of the Drakes. Alright, we're going to head back upstairs. Okay, so I've given you a quick grand tour of the area surrounding Firelink Shrine. Now there's some other stuff we can do that we're not quite ready to do yet. I'll show those to you later. For now, we're going to do a quick check and see if we can level up. Because I do have some soul items I can use and possibly squeak a level out of this. So let's see. Rusted Bonfire, level up. Alright, we need 775, so I'm going to back out. And I'm going to look in my inventory for the soul items I've picked up. There's 4 souls of a lost undead, a soul of a nameless soldier, a large soul of a nameless soldier. I'm going to use the large soul of a nameless soldier to see what she gives me. Use 1. Give me 1,000. That is enough to level up once. Okay. So what am I going to level up? If I do strength, that gives me 1 in damage with my longsword. If I do dex, it gives me 1 damage with my longsword. Endurance ups my equipment load and stamina, which isn't a bad idea. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna go ahead and go up with strength. No, you know what? Let's go up with vitality. Get the hit points. And based on that, I think I can actually use another one and level up again. So let's do that. Actually, let's use some of the smaller ones. Let's use 2 of them. See what that gives me. 400, that's not bad. Well, yep, I have enough again, and this time we'll do endurance. We'll try to get all 4 of those to 14. There we go. There, so we have done some exploration in this area. So as the game goes on, some things will change. We'll actually get some NPCs to show up if we do the right things. First off, over here with this guy, at some point we'll get some NPCs over here, his companions. We will get a NPC right over here by this tree. If we play our cards right, we will get an NPC, actually 2 of them. One right here and one right here. This area will start to populate, basically. And it really comes down to our actions. All of those events may not happen. We'll get a very important NPC right here. And we will get an NPC right over here. And it's funny, I never recognized that there was somebody sitting in this before. I always thought that was just an empty chair. Cool. Okay. So, that's it for now. These are just to pick up some easy stuff, get you a couple of extra levels out of it. Just watch out for those skeletons. And you can run down there and get a lot of other stuff, different types of shields and things like that. But next episode, we're going to head that way to the Undead Burg, where we will actually take on our first main game boss. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Farewell, this has been Outdated. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Peace out.